NCAA Rules Committee expected to vote on recommendation to allow coach-to-player helmet communication.
Thank you, Harbaugh.
Yeah, so the whole reason this is coming up, I mean, it's been in the works before, but the reason it's been pushed now is because of the whole sign stealing situation. And again, got to remind everybody, sign stealing is not against the rules. What was against the rules is a staff member going to a future opponent's game and recording the sidelines and then using that information to decode signals during a game.
But also, if you think that you can get anything in the realm of usable and advantageous information with an iPhone at a football game,
a shaky iPhone, and you're likely not going to get a clear shot anyway, but
I have lakefront property in the Sahara Desert to sell you. Anyway.
At any rate, when what coaches were saying in response to that was we should just go ahead with these in-helmet communications so that we don't have to use signs at all. So many coaches have said these signs are stupid, they slow down the game, and they're easy to interpret. Mm-hmm. And the original rule, the sign stealing rule, was going to be vacated at one point. Vacated? Is that the right word for that? It was going to be dropped, vacated at one point because it became repealed. It became irrelevant because at the time it was a cost thing. Not every school could send somebody. Well, now you get the video everywhere. And there's even, they talk about the All 22, which is actually on YouTube in some cases. And it's so easy to get. So they were going to get rid of the rule and they didn't. And they're trying to hit Michigan with it. So here we are.
Finally.
So here we are finally. So this article comes from On3 and it's by Andrew Graham. And he says, college football is poised to modernize in a few key ways in the near future. Recommendations are being finalized this week, calling for the approval of coach-to-player helmet comms, sideline tablets, and a 2-minute warning.
Boo!
According to Yahoo's Ross Dellinger.
As if we needed more ads.
So the first one, the coach-to-player helmet communication became a hot-button issue, as we said, during the 2023 season after revelations about impermissible scouting by a Michigan staffer to suss out opponent signals. The technology has been used in the NFL for decades. Decades. Now, okay, so what was the main reason they weren't using this in college already?
I don't know. Because the NCAA sucks? I don't know. They didn't want it. I think it was.
Well, yeah, I think that was part of it. They didn't want it in the cost of it, which still exists.
Why? What? How is that so expensive? Sorry, that came off really intense. I meant like the school. How can the schools not afford? I owe Western Michigan University 6 figures. How are they not able to afford putting microphones in helmets?
Yeah, and they only have to put them in the coach's helmet, or the quarterback's helmet. And whoever sends in the play call.
Yeah, so all he's got to do is get what's the play? All right, we're going to hand it off. Cool.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we're going to hand it off. Cool. Break.
I don't know. Maybe it's cheaper now. I don't know.
Whatever.
This is the one that I find interesting. Leaders in charge of the rules are also poised to allow for the use of tablets to replay previous plays or use other permissible video to coach players on the sideline. So they can watch their own replays. They don't have to call for it. They can watch it on the tablet. Now, I'm sure they still have to make an official change. They have to call for it.
Wait.
But what this means is what they're watching here.
Yeah.
On a tablet, they've got an iPad and they can actually access the footage of the game while they're playing the game. Right?
Yeah.
That's what this is.
I mean, right?
Yeah. So.
Okay.
So it's not future scouting, but it is essentially being able to rewatch what the other team is doing right during the game.
Okay, cool.
This one seems incredibly impractical to me.
Well, they do it in the NFL.
Yeah. I mean, they've got more staff on those sidelines too.
I don't
know.
It seems to me that colleges are probably going to need to start hiring people specifically for this, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, people to, like, or just give the players like access to a tablet on the side. Yeah, actually, that's what they do in the NFL is the player just goes over to the sideline, grabs the tablet, and in Tom Brady's case, smashes it against the water cooler. But other players will watch a play and be like, what's going on? And all. So yeah, actually this is fairly practical.
This is practical. All right.
Yeah. Depending on the type of tablet they're buying. I mean, if they get, 10 iPads, then somebody's not getting their scholarship that year. But
that is true.
Not that matters because the kid's probably got a multi-million-dollar deal with a car company anyway.
All right. This is your favorite one. The NCAA Rules Committee is also apparently pushing to add a 2-minute warning, meaning the clock will stop at 2 minutes remaining or after a play runs just past that time at the end of each half. Mac, why do you hate this rule?
All right, guys. I work in marketing. It is in my best interest as a marketer to make sure that you see the ads for the companies that I create advertisements for. I freaking hate this. This is stupid. There are too many ads in college football as it stands. There's so many ads. How many times did you watch a game this last fall where they would do the kickoff, or there would be a score, there would be a touchdown, okay, and then they would show 2 minutes of advertisements, and then they'd come back and have the kickoff, and then the announcer would be like, and when we come back, Michigan has the ball, and then they'd show another 2 minutes of ads. So you got 8 seconds of game time with 4 minutes of advertisements. That's like if you don't have YouTube Premium, that's like YouTube ads on steroids. And it's not okay. All right, I'm done.
What's bizarre to me is that I thought last year they said they're going to keep the clock running after 2 minutes, right? Isn't that what happened last year? After 2 minutes, the clock keeps running? Yeah. So they were trying to speed up the games, and now they're slowing them back down again.
Well, hang on. I can't remember it. No, keep going. Never mind.
Oh, I was going to say, just as far as the ads go too, I think it's hilarious now. And actually it's been, I don't know, a handful of years now that they'll actually show ads while they're breaking down a play.
Yeah.
And they'll box it. They'll put the announcers into a little box and they'll have the ad running on the side. We are being inundated with so many commercials.
Here's what it is. It's okay. So except for the last 2 minutes of each half, the game clock will now run after first downs.
Okay. Yeah. That was last year. Yeah.
Yeah.
They didn't
last year.
They didn't stop the clock to move the chains anymore.
Right. Yeah. So they kept on going. And the idea was to shorten the game.
Yeah.
So now they're adding the 2 minute. So now they're adding the 2 minute warning to re-elongate the game.
Yep.
By an extra 2 minutes, 4 minutes really, so that they can get more advertisements in. This is so stupid. Yeah. I'm so upset right now.
Remember, everybody out there, if you have any thoughts on these rules, drop them in the chat. We can throw them up here on the screen and talk about them. To actually be put in action, the NCAA Playing Rules Oversight Panel, PROP, will have to approve the rule changes. They're scheduled to discuss them on April 18th, just a month and a half from now.
So call your local congressman and beg them to keep the NCAA from doing something this tragically stupid.
Yep. And again, they point out in this article that the addition of the helmet communication started to truly be legislated by the NCAA in the wake of the Michigan scandal. The big scandal.
Sam Hartman's looking downfield for Adrian.
Carter almost has a one-handed catch.
Almost.